So at this point you should have your at-home workout out. If you don't, then pause the video until you have your at-home workout out and you're ready to go. 3A, write a formula for the area A of a triangle. So if you didn't know the formula, you should have looked it up, asked someone, or Googled it. The formula for the area of a triangle is the area equals half base times height. So that's 3A. 3B, solve the formula for B. Remember, that means that we are getting B by itself. So I'll make B a different color. Okay, so A equals 1/2 base times height. First thing that you want to do is get rid of that fraction. Remember, to get rid of our fractions, we multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 1/2 is 2/1, or you can just think of it as 2. And whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. So now 1/2 and 2 are canceled out. So all that is left on the right side of our equal sign is BH. And 2 times A is just 2A. So we have 2A equals BH. The last thing we need to do is get rid of the H because we're solving for B. B and H are being multiplied because there's no sign for an operation in between them. Every other operation would have to have some kind of symbol. So we know they're being multiplied. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. So since we want B by itself, we're going to divide both sides by H. We've done a lot of work with cross-canceling. We know that anything divided by itself is 1. So now we have just B left on the right-hand side, and that was our goal. There's nothing to simplify on the left-hand side, so we just leave our formula like this. 2 times A divided by H equals B. Or you can say 2 times the area of the triangle divided by the height of the triangle will tell us what the base of the triangle is. Part C says use the new formula to find the base of the triangle. So we had 2 times the area divided by the height equals the base. If we look up at our problem, we see that the area is 36 millimeters squared. So 2 times 36 divided by the height is 6 millimeters, so divided by 6 gives us the base. And if it's helpful for you to see things color-coded, I can color-code it. So here's our area. Here's where the area goes. Here's where we substitute the known area. And here's our height. Remember that the height is shown here. It's perpendicular to the base, which is there. So our height we're doing in purple. And here's where we substituted in for the height. And then the base would be here, and it's perpendicular to the height. So this is where the missing information is. Okay, and then we do 2 times 36. 6 times 2 is 12. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. So we get 72 divided by 6, and you could have done this in a calculator. Divided by 6, 1, 6 minus equals 1. And down our 2, 12. Okay, so 2 times 36 divided by 6 equals 12. So the base would be 12 millimeters. So hopefully you had all that work for number 3. If you didn't, you should have it now. If you need to pause or rewind, you may do so. And if not, then we are going on to number 4. I'm sorry, not number 4. We're going on to number 5. So number 5 you may have found a little confusing because there was the fraction in front of the x. but we will treat it the same way as if we had a whole number coefficient in front of our variable. So this tells us that for all these problems we're solving for y. That means we want to get y by itself. So here's our y. Okay, I'm not sure what happened with the recording, so I'm sorry if I'm apologizing or if I am repeating anything. So we're solving this equation for y. We have 1/3 x plus y equals 4. It tells us in the directions that we're solving for y, so we'll make that a different color. Now, we don't need to get rid of our fraction. In the past, when we have been solving to get an answer like y equals 5, we would get rid of the fraction to make it easier and multiply by the reciprocal. In this case, we're not looking for a solution like y equals 5. We are just looking to rewrite the problem or the equation so that y is by itself on one side of the equal sign and the rest of the information is on the other side. So to do that, we need to remove the other term. There's only one other term on the left side of the equal sign, and that's 1/3 x. So we're going to do the opposite of positive 1/3 x, which is negative 1/3 x. Whatever I do to one side of the equal sign, I have to do to the other side. Or you can think of it as once you put a term across the equal sign, you have to make it the opposite. So positive 1/3, when you flip it to the other side, would become negative 1/3 x. So when you have anything and you take away the same amount, that cancels out. So now on the left, we just have y equals, and on the right hand side, can we combine 4 and negative 1/3 x? Hopefully your answer is no. They are not like terms. So we write it exactly as it is. 4 minus 1/3 x. And this would be your answer. Y is by itself. So if we were rewriting this equation, we would get y equals 4 minus 1/3 x. And that problem is done. Number 7. Same idea as we have been doing. It's just that our variables are on the right side of our equal sign, but the same principles still apply. So we have 6 equals 4x plus 9y. It told us in the directions for all of these that we were solving for y. So here's y. So we're going to undo the terms that are on the same side as the y. So in this case, it's 4x. So when we flip it to the other side, we have to do the opposite. So we had positive 4x, so now we have to subtract 4x. 4x take away 4x gives us 0, so we're left with just 9y on the right side. And now on the left side, can we combine these? We cannot, because they are not like terms. We have a constant, which is 6, and a variable term, which is negative 4x. So negative 4x plus 6 equals 9y. That is our new equation. And we're not done yet because we still have that 9 in front of our y, and we want y to be totally alone. So now we need to undo what is being done to the y. So it's not moving the whole term anymore because there's only the y term left. So y is being multiplied by 9, so we're undoing that by dividing by 9. Remember that the entire side of the equation has to be divided by 9. So every single term will get 9 as the denominator. And if you prefer to just write it this way and skip writing that step with it all as one denominator, you may do that and go straight to this. And 9 divided by 9 cancels out. And then we have just y on the right side, so that's exactly what we wanted. We just have to see if we can simplify anything now. Negative 4 divided by 9 would not go in evenly, so we can just leave this as negative 4x over 9 plus 6/9 can be simplified. 3 goes into 6 twice, 3 goes into 9 3 times. And again, we just have y on the right side, which is what we want. So our problem is done. Number 9 may have looked intimidating to you because it has decimals, but it's the same exact concepts that we've been doing, same rules. So we have 4.2x minus 1/4 y equals 2.1. As in the other problems, the directions told us that we're solving for y. Okay, so you want to get rid of any other terms that are not with the y first. So our term is 4.2x, or 4 2/10 x. That's what we're getting rid of. So the opposite of positive 4 2/10 x is negative 4 2/10 x. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. Okay, 4 2/10 x minus 4 2/10 x cancels out. Don't forget this sign. Remember, it goes with the term. So I have negative 1.4y equals 2.1 minus 4.2x. My problem is not quite done yet because y is not totally alone. We did get rid of the other term, so we just have one last step to do. Negative 1.4 is being multiplied by y, so we will do the opposite, which is divide by negative 1.4. And this time I'm going to skip that step of writing it with one denominator, in case anybody would prefer to do it this way. I want you to see what I meant by that. Okay, negative 1.4 divided by negative 1.4 is 1. So we have y equals 3/2. That's what that would simplify to, and it's negative. As long as you have the one negative sign, remember it doesn't matter if it goes in front of the numerator or denominator. And then negative 4.2x divided by negative 1.4x equals, or simplifies to, a positive 3x. So this is our final answer for number 9. Y equals negative 3/2 plus 3x. Number 11 is an error analysis problem. Describe and correct the error in rewriting the equation. Okay, so here, I think this said 5, it got cut off. So here we had 2x minus y equals 5, and the person who solved this problem wrote it as y equals negative 2x plus 5. So if you had any questions on this, then you're going to rewatch the parts of this video. If that doesn't help, you're going to talk to a teammate. And if that doesn't help, make sure your conversations are on topic. If that didn't help, then you're going to write down the parts that you rewatched. You're going to write down which questions you had, and you're going to write down who you asked those questions to. And that paper is going to go in the completed workout bin. I will be looking over these when I get back. So if you had no questions, then I should just see your completed at-home workout in the completed work bin. I'm not sure if number 11 recorded or not. If it did, then you can stop watching this now, and if it did not, then you can watch it now. So error analysis, it says describe and correct the error in rewriting the equation. So to do that, we need to solve the equations ourselves, and then we will see what we did differently. So 2x minus y equals 5. We are solving for y. So we need to get rid of the other term first. The other term is 2x. So the opposite of positive 2x is negative 2x. 2x minus 2x cancels out. So we have negative y equals 5 minus 2x. Oh, and this should say 5 over here. So if you look back up at the work that they did, it is similar, but there is one slight difference. We have negative y over here, and they just have positive y. So their mistake was they didn't bring down the negative sign in front of the y. And we know that we are not done when it looks like this, and we know from the video we watched on Friday, or some of you may have watched it yesterday, that to undo that negative, we multiply or divide by -1. So -1 times -y is positive y. -1 times 5 is -5. -1 times -2x is positive 2x. So our final answer was y equals -5 plus 2x, whereas theirs was y equals -2x plus 5. And we have opposite terms. Our 2x, it doesn't matter that the order is different, but it matters that the signs are different. So our 2x is positive, which it should be, and our 5 is negative, which it should be, whereas their 2x is negative and their 5 is positive. So the mistake is that the person did not bring the negative sign down with the y. Okay, nice job. So you are all done. So you can rewind now to find out what to do if you still had questions, if you forget the instructions that I had given you.